Hi, this is Denise with Paper Crafty, and it is day one of the 5 days of Easter 2022. This is a collaboration between Dear Julie and Cara Brandon Creations, and today I'm going to be using day one of Cara Brandon's kit and day one of Julie's kit to make a project. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so this is what I came up with for day one. I'm going to continue to do a little junk journal. This is about 5.5, a little bigger than the size of a regular 8.5 by 11 paper folded in half. And this little journal is about almost 8.5 by 5.5. And this is just the cover. So I'm just doing the cover for today, and then I'm going to be continuing to work on it over the 5 days of Easter. But I really love the way this turned out. I decided that I was going to add some black stitching throughout this journal because I think it'll be a good tie-in between Cara's digitals, which have some blacks and things like that and are a little brighter than Julie's, and Julie's printables. But I really love the way this printable of Julie's kind of goes onto this background here. So I really love the way this turned out. I just took a file folder and I put Cara's collage over the top of it, and then I put this printable of Julie's over an envelope. This is just a little envelope. Let's see, I don't even know what size this is. This is what, 4.5 by 5 3/4. So I'm not sure what size that is. And I put it, in terms of a whatever. And then I put some crocheted lace underneath here, did some stitching around the envelope, did some stitching around the file folder. And then I added some, this is actually over the edge of the file folder. And this opens up like this. And I did some, I made my own little ruffle here with some yellow gingham cloth. And this is the first time I've done this over the edge kind of stitch. And I really love the way that turned out. I think it looks super cool. And I've got, along the edge here, and I did a little insert using Julie's printable, and I did some collaging into the background. And it's just a little journal card. The back is pretty simple. You could journal there as well. And it's got a little crocheted lace on there as well. I'll just put that back in there. And it kind of looks like that. And I used some temporary tape to put this little stamp from Julie's printable here. I really love the way that looks, but I might want some other things, so I just used temporary tape because I want to remember to put that there. But I kind of messed up the edging here, so I want to make sure that I kind of hide that a little bit. But I didn't want to adhere it completely at this point because I might do some other layering here on the cover. I don't think this is completely done. I think that I'm going to be adding things as we go. Yeah, and I added these little strings. I like the way they hang down there, and I've got a little tab up top here that I'm going to be adding something to, just not quite yet. I used the same printable, Cara's same printable on the interior, just so it would be finished, and I could, use this as a tuck spot. I sewed the envelope in, and then I used Julie's little tag, just backed it on some chipboard and added a little eyelet right there, and that tucks in right like that. And then that's the back. So I'm definitely going to add some stuff up here. Just not sure exactly what yet. And I thought today I'd make with you the closure for this. I'm thinking that I'll probably add another eyelet just like this. I have lots of different options of eyelets, but I'll probably do something fairly simple, probably just this one again, this kind of, it's really pretty color. It's like a satin, it's not quite, it's like between gold and silver. It's really pretty. I like that color. But I'll probably add that. I haven't decided exactly where yet, so I didn't want to punch the hole quite yet. I want to wait till the cover's finished and the book's finished before I do that. But I want to use this Sari silk ribbon as a closure, and what I'm thinking is I'll probably put, you know, the hole like right about here so that when it closes it's down below the little girly and then kind of goes off the edge like that. And I like this color, actually. It is really pretty, but I was thinking I might actually do I might actually colorize it. So I was going to go ahead and do that today. I don't really want to add a ton of color to this. I think I want to keep it fairly neutral, but I want to pull out some of the colors from the cover in here. So let's see. And I do like, I don't know, I like that neutral as well. So I'm going to have to decide how I want to do that. But I want to use a combination of some oxides as well as some just regular distress inks. So I'm going to pull some colors out of my stash and see what I can come up with. Okay, so when I'm trying to decide colors that I want to use of different inks, you know, I have swatches of my distress ink, but I still like to see them side by side and kind of you know, get an idea of what they would look like with my project. And I just did, so this is fossilized amber. This is peeled paint distress oxide. This is peeled paint just distress ink. This is spun sugar. This is Victorian velvet. This is the tattered rose distress oxide. This is the regular tattered rose, just distress ink. And this is worn lipstick in distress oxide, and this is the distress ink worn lipstick. Okay, so those are kind of the colors that I was considering that I thought might look good with this. And so I'm just going to take this you know, these swatches and kind of see what might look good with this. You know, I really like the yellow. The yellows are for sure, I think. I think this spun sugar and just the regular distress ink. I want a mix of distress oxides and just plain distress inks. So I like this spun sugar, so I'm going to definitely do the fossilized amber in that. I really like this distress oxide peeled paint, but I'm afraid it's going to be too, it's going to dominate too much. I might add just a little bit of this. I don't really want a lot of that. Just a tiny little bit, maybe if any at all. I think it'll just be lighter in the end. I also like this Victorian velvet. I think that actually is a great color for this palette. It kind of matches these flowers up here. I also really like this distress oxide worn lipstick. I think that is a beautiful color with this palette. So maybe that one. Okay, so I'm going to put this off to the side and I'm going to clear off my desk and we'll get going on colorizing the ribbon closure for this journal. Okay, so I was showing you how I do the swatches. And for this, I just use the offcuts of my printables. So this is from Cara Brandon's, one of Cara Brandon's printables. And I just, you know, this is part of the printable that I had to cut off. And so I just, you know, I save these strips and then I use them for various things. And this will be cool because I'll put it back in with my strips and I can, you know, either die cut it later or, you know, add water and kind of make a mixture, you know, or add it into different projects. So I'm actually, I like these. So anyway, that I just share that as a little tip of things that you can use and then reuse. I want to retain some of the, you know, just this plain color. So yeah, I'm not even sure that I even want any green in this. Might just want the yellows and the pinks. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to start with the lightest color, and I'm starting with the Distress inks. So I'm going to start with the Distress ink. And just kind of, I'm going to go directly to the fabric. Sometimes I go on the front and the back just to make sure I have good coverage in that area for a particular color. And this Distress ink is not as juicy as it could be, but it'll still be fine when I go to, okay, I don't want it to be too even. I'm just going to go various areas. Now I'm going to use a little bit of the worn lipstick, and this is going to be much darker because this is an oxide. So yeah, I'll put that there. Might not do quite as much of this as I did the other one. You know, and you do get this on your craft mat as well. I'm using a Tim Holtz this is a craft mat, one of those silicone craft mats. All right, yes, I think that's going to be pretty. I am not going to add any green. Okay, so the next step I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my Distress, just my, you know, water sprayer, and I'm going to get some paper that I can sop some of this paint up with. All right, because now I've got all this paint on the surface of this, and I don't want to waste it. And I just put these back in my scrap box. Scrap pile. Just kind of adds. Go. All right. So that's good. And then I'm just going to take and I'm going to wet down the ribbon. And that just activates the ink, you know, gets it really pretty. Okay, I want to retain some of that kind kind of the original color of the silk, so I don't want to overwork that. All right, and the cool thing about this too, I'm just going to heat this up now to dry the ribbon. And the cool thing about this too is that you'll see it as it dries, it actually straightens out. All right, so look at how cool that looks. You know, you can do so many different things. You can actually make this color bleed a lot more by scrunching it up when it's wet, but I did want to retain some of that original kind of just really light beige color, because I think it goes really well with the journal that I'm making here. So yeah, I love this together. I think it looks super pretty. Oh my goodness, look at those colors together. Aren't they gorgeous? They're going to be beautiful. Okay, so yeah, so that can go around like that, and then it'll fall down, so that'll be really pretty. I like that a lot. I might do one more thing to this. I'm thinking actually I might stamp on this. So I'm going to pull out my media mat again. And you can see I don't do a lot to clean this off. And you know, this is gesso and all sorts of other things. And if those get on the things, I'm fine with that. That's not a big deal. All right. Okay, so I have this, it's called a French script stamp. It's from Stamping Up. It's kind of an old one. I think it's retired, but you know, you can probably find something similar out there these days. And I'm just going to ink this up. I might have to get a bigger stamp pad because this one's fairly large. Stamp. I take it back. I'm going to use this leaf green. That would be so pretty in the archival ink. Oh my gosh, that'll be so pretty on this. Okay, so I'm going to use this archival ink, leaf green. It's Wendy Vecchi. Hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. You know, and this doesn't have to be a perfect stamp off because, you know, just okay. So let's see, I'm just gonna start up here, kind of go like this. See, doesn't that look cool? Oh my gosh, I love that. I love it. All right, and then I'm gonna go to the next kind of area. Oh my gosh, I love this. All right, and then kind of to here. Go, and then more or less there. Oh my gosh, look at how cool that looks. Oh, I love that. That looks so cool. All right, so I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so this is what the this is what it looks like. Doesn't that look cool? And I'm not going to do both sides of this ribbon. So, you know, you'll get peaks of it, and it kind of goes through the other side slightly, some more in some areas than others, but it's going to look so cool. Look at that with the journal. Look at how cool that looks. Just that little touch of green is kind of perfect. Doesn't overwhelm it. And the colors are just gorgeous. It's just gonna be gorgeous. I really love the way that turned out. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this little ribbon to the side because like I said, I don't want to make the hole in the cover until I've completely, you know, finished the journal. And I'm ready to, you know, finish off the cover and have everything done. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this a small tutorial kind of folded into a project share. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment in the comment section below, and let me know if you've ever tried to you know, dye your own ribbon. This happens to be Sari silk, but you can, you know, same principle applies to anything. I've done this a lot with seam binding and different kinds of ribbons. So, you know, it can be done with anything. And let me know if you've done that before, or if you know, want to give it a go now. It's very, very easy to do. It's really not complicated, and it's a lot of fun. And it's fun to stamp on the ribbon as well. You know, again, especially when you're using it like this as a tie, the stamping doesn't have to be perfect. It just kind of gives you the idea of something. So anyway, again, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down in the section below. And if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please subscribe to my channel. Again, this is Denise with Paper Crafty, and craft on.